What is going on, everyone? Gels from Fitment Industries, and today I am here with
Steve from Fitment Industries.
So this is set up a little different from our normal videos that we usually do, because usually we're everything, wheels, tires, and suspension, but something has happened recently as of this last week in the automotive industry and in the car community that has broken the internet, I guess you could say.
It has.
Can you take any guesses of what we're going to talk about today, Steve?
I would say it's going to be probably the 2020 Toyota Supra, being that it just came out, Detroit Auto Show, like 2 days ago.
Yep. So we thought that this is a big enough topic that you got everybody talking about it. There's a lot of opinions flying around. We thought we would sit down today and talk about it, kind of talk about like the specs of it, what other people are thinking of it, and then of course like what our thoughts are on it. So first things first, I guess we can just talk about like what the car actually is. So we'll kind of go over like the specs of it, you know, like what's all in it, why they did what they did.
Right.
So first of all, so we know now, of course it was built in partnership with BMW, which kind of riles a lot of people up, kind of like the main, you know, like controversial factor of the whole thing. But it's got the B58 engine in it.
Yep, same motor that's in the 2019 BMW Z4.
Right. So again, like it was built not, I wouldn't say alongside, but they're like cousins to each other.
Yeah, I think that's a accurate way to describe the two. Yeah, I mean it sounds like a really good platform. It's got an 8-speed automatic transmission in it, which I know people like me are heartbroken by the fact that we can't
save the manuals.
Yeah, we can't save the manuals. The car does 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, which is pretty incredible.
That's pretty decent, yeah. So I'm glad that they stuck with a straight six platform. You know, that's what the Supra's known for, from like especially with the 2JZ. You know, the straight six, 3-liter, single turbo. So it's a turbocharged engine from factory.
Yep.
And you know, so it's like, even though it is a BMW platform, it's proven. Like it's a good engine, it's a good transmission. Like, you know, it does its job and it does it good.
Yeah, it throws down when it needs to.
So I'm weighing in right around 3,400 pounds.
3,397 to be exact.
That is a specific number.
Yep,
so
it's
yeah,
4 pounds shy of 3,400 pounds.
So they actually ditched the rear seat in this complete. So it is a 2-seater cockpit.
Yeah, I read that earlier. I don't mind that. I don't see why.
Right.
Who's gonna put anything or anyone in the back seat of a Supra, like an MK4 anyway? Don't. Let's keep my cringy joke.
So those are the technical specs of it.
Top speed.
Top speed. Yeah.
Top speed. Now I'm sure this will change given the day and age of engine computers and what can be done with tuning and everything. Out of the gate from the factory, they're going to be limited to 155 miles an hour.
Okay, so like limited.
Yes.
Like so it potentially could have more?
I would imagine, yes, it could have more, but I would assume that with most cars, you would hit 100. If you get to 155 miles an hour on the stock platform, you're going to hit fuel cut, and then you're just going to bog down and slow back down.
Gotcha. 150 miles an hour.
155 is nothing to complain about.
Right.
That's for sure. if I was doing 155, I would not be complaining.
Going on to the next, I guess, topic of discussion about the Supra, and probably one of my like major concerns with it, especially what we've seen in the past when companies resurrect like old names of like iconic cars.
Right.
One thing I was worried about when I heard they were announcing the Supra is that they were just gonna price this thing astronomically high.
When you're in the day and age where a Ford Focus RS is $40K.
Right.
Yeah, you could expect it. I mean, as much as people like me like to cringe at that.
So I mean, I was half expecting them to come out with this car and slap like a $90,000 window sticker on it.
I mean, I feel like that's excessive, but yeah.
Like
60,
that's like
somewhere in
probably one of my main concerns with it. That and it not having manual transmission, but you know, we'll just let that go.
I would, I would, if I were to have to guess, I would say somewhere between 60 to 65K would be.
Yeah.
Relative.
So actually, when it was announced and I read up on it, and I was super excited to see that base price starting out, you're looking at about $51,000, and that's for the straight six option. They are, I believe, coming out with a 4-cylinder 2.0 like turbocharged option.
Yes.
So for the straight six 3-liter turbocharged, you're looking at a base price around $51,000, which actually, when you look back when the Mark IV came out, It came out for around $40,000 back then. In today's money, that I believe that's around $62,000. So it's actually coming out cheaper than the Mark IV did back in the day.
That's definitely a price point, I think, to argue that it's a good thing.
So
it's not as expensive as it actually could be.
So I was super happy to see it like an obtainable price for the car.
Ridiculous.
Right. So I was happy to see that. So then there's other variants that they offer. So the base price, $51,000. You can get the premium package, which comes with like your JBL audio. It comes with like a navigation system, your heads-up display, leather interior. That's right around $55,000. And then the launch edition, I think there's about 1,500 of these that they're making. So it's a very limited run. Going to be around $56,000, and that comes in the red, and then it comes in that silver color that's been teased around the internet the last couple weeks.
Red accents
and then it's got the red interior.
Yep.
You know, it's the special edition. So that one will run you about $56,000. So really not bad at all.
I would guess that there's going to be somewhere the one of 1,500 or two of 1,500, wherever.
Yep.
69 of 1,500.
They'll probably have it like. So moving on from like the technicalities of it, what it is, what it's going to be offered at, probably the main reason why a lot of people have come is like what, you know, the whole thing about it. Like I said, the car has been teased for like going on 7 years now from the initial FT1 like renders that came out. Everyone like lost their mind. You know, everyone was looking forward to it. Then it was announced that they were partnering with BMW to do the powertrain for it. And that's, I believe, where a lot of people got split. They're like, you cannot have a car that is branded Supra, but have a non-Toyota like heart into it.
Right.
And I get that argument a lot. So like that has really like split the community. Like you either absolutely love the new Supra,
it's not even,
or you absolutely hate it.
Yeah, I don't even believe it's going to be a TRD performance vehicle.
No.
It's going to be a GR Supra, Gazoo Racing, something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't put it in our notes because we're smart people. But yeah, it's not going to be a TRD platform, which has a lot of people up in arms.
Right.
I mean, I've heard comments like, what, can Toyota even make a car on their own anymore? You know, referencing to the fact that they partnered with Subaru to make the BRZ.
Right.
Yeah, another thing is people aren't really digging the automatic transmission only.
Which I totally understand too.
I'm one of those people that I
know.
I dislike that.
Yep.
I drive a manual transmission every day. Telling me that the revival of an iconic legend isn't allowed to have the transmission that makes driving fun. I'm sure there's people out there who would disagree with me. This is my personal opinion, but I wish it would come in a manual, but it sucks that that's a dying thing.
Yeah, and it really does. And I think kind of the main reason, and I'm with you there on that. I absolutely do wish that it would have came in a manual or will come in a manual.
Right.
I hope that, you know, further down the road, maybe we'll see it. You know, we don't know. But from where I come from with it, I think that was kind of one of the key factors to keeping that price down to where it is by using a proven platform from BMW, putting it into the Toyota Supra, them not having to like do the R&D, do the like, you know, the new manufacturing and testing to like make sure that a new transmission would work for that, I think was a key factor in keeping the price where it is. However, I would have loved to see a manual transmission.
Yeah, I do feel that. We don't know the price points yet on the 4-cylinder, so there's a good potential for a significant price drop there. Let's talk personal opinions. I mean, we've kind of covered that people really just don't like the fact that this is a collaboration with BMW.
Right, and I think that is the key like deciding factor for a lot of people.
I can't I don't mind it. I've got love for BMW. I'm a BMW fan, so like sitting there ranking on it isn't something. But like the fact that it's veering off so far from the traditional roots of the name that has been given, like it's almost like you could have been like, yeah, this thing would be great if you guys wouldn't call it a Supra. Okay. But the fact that you're calling it a Supra makes it you're tugging on feelings there.
Sure.
Like you're dealing with people like I'm not gonna tell you how old I am, but I'm old, and I'm old enough that I like the 90s JDM cars, and especially something like a Supra. Like seeing those cars when they were new, it was like
It holds a special place in your hearts, pretty
world.
much.
And
like,
granted, I'm still gonna get the same feeling seeing this one, but just knowing that it veered so far away from its roots is it bothers me a little that they did that. But like I said, I've got a huge amount of love for BMWs, so I'm not really gonna hate on it for that. I'm not the biggest fan of the front end.
That's fair.
I did see a comparison. They took the new 2019 Z4 and the new 2020 Supra and they split it down the middle and put them next to each other. That shot made me like the front end a lot more.
Sure.
Of the Supra. I'm not big on the BMW Z4, the way it looks anyway, and the convertible. Not really down with that. Definitely like that this is a hardtop. Love the way the car looks from that rear 3/4 shot.
That is gorgeous. It looks
amazing.
very good from that shot.
But it's going to take a little bit for the rest of the car to grow on me. The front end was something that was really strikingly different. And
especially from the render, I think that was like the main thing that changed.
It didn't look anything like the concept.
It's like they did a really good job in the rear end, and then kind of got towards the front. And they're like, we'll just kind of there. First things first, I do love the car. I think it is great that they decided to resurrect the Supra name after about 20 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been a long,
in the
States. I think they continue to make them around till 2002 over in Japan.
In America, they were discontinued in 1998, and then everywhere else in 2002, and it was for the purpose of refining emissions.
Gotcha.
Car just was too mean, too mean to the environment.
That's fair. Well, I don't know, whatever. I'm pretty impressed with what they did. And here's why. Like, my main reason for it is that 7 or 8 years now, they've been working on this car for that long.
Yeah.
They knew then that this was going to be the next Supra, and because they took that long, because they were like resurrecting that Supra name, they knew that they had to do a good job with it. So with the time that they took of it, the fact that they spent 90% of that time bringing people in, like we see people like TJ Hunt and all these other YouTubers and stuff that have actually been invited by Toyota to check it out, and they literally pre-ordered one on the spot.
Yeah, that is true.
90% of the time, of that time, has been testing it, letting people drive it. What do you think? We'll take the feedback. We'll take it back. We'll tweak things. We saw it at the Nürburgring. We saw it out driving in winter roads in Germany. We saw it all over the place. You know, the fact that they're willing to put that much time to really make sure that they're doing a good job on something, it means a lot to me coming from an engineering standpoint.
Yeah, and no, I hear where you're coming from, and that's you're making a lot of fair points there. There's a lot of respect to be had for this car. Love it or hate it.
Right.
To be honest, with something so iconic from the car culture, the scene culture over the last 20 years, to take something so iconic, you're gonna have a polarizing opinion, especially when you're audience with unveiling it, because there's going to be people who are open and willing to the change, and people who are too stuck on what they used to do and I think they should keep with the roots. But I mean, and that's totally fine either way you look at it. Like I said, with me, it's growing on me, so it's something that I've never been a fan of any of the concept photos. It's been more of an eye roll to me over the last 7 years. Not something I've been following severely, because of just not seeing enough of it. But now that I'm seeing it a bunch, in the last 24 hours, the car's really grown on me.
Sure. I'll just say one last thing too, which I think is the main point for me being is that I'm glad at the fact that we have at least one car manufacturer that's still willing to make these kind of cars and resurrect an older name and not absolutely murder an iconic name like Mitsubishi did with the Eclipse.
We'll I think that's far enough, Giles. I think we should slow down.
Before I start crying here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that about wraps it up. I mean, I think that I'm glad we were able to do this because everybody's been talking about it, even though half of our people are not even in the country right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they were like, "Hey, this would be a great video idea," and we thought so too. And
yeah.
But I'm glad that we can have good video ideas in a different country.
Yeah, definitely. And I know
it would look great being shot in a different country, to be completely honest.
Sitting on the beach, whatever.
Sitting on
you
the
guys,
beach,
have fun.
martini,
Yeah.
cigar, sun hat, No.
I think it would have been
Looking
perfect.
real Miami.
I think it would have been perfect. But I think that's going to wrap it up for our thoughts on the 2020 Toyota Supra. I'm glad I got to sit down and talk with you. I kind of knew your standpoint on it from the beginning. I know we've always been kind of like back and forth, like the last, especially week.
Oh yeah, me and him have been going back and forth. Don't forget, all month long through the month of January, we are doing as low as 0% financing through Affirm on all wheels, tires, suspension.
Mm-hmm. And if you are in the market for wheels, tires, and suspension, don't forget to head on over to fitmentindustries.com. We have tons of options. There's the plug. And we are also doing, for the month of January, a giveaway with Cosmis wheels. We're actually giving away a... What was that?
I wiped away the
okay.
website.
we are going to be giving away a set of Cosmis XT206Rs. The easiest way to enter is head on over to fitmentindustries.com and grab yourself a Cosmis and Fitment Industries t-shirt. We did a kind of a cool t-shirt design with both companies.
But neither one of us are wearing it.
Yeah, I wore mine yesterday. So
Mine's in the wash.
Yeah, see?
So, I mean,
didn't think
until
about it.
I get to it.
But head on over there. But in the meantime, I'm Gels from Fitment Industries.
I'm Steve from Fitment Industries.
And we'll see you later.